SuccessWare has a full purchasing flow available, and conveniently makes that purchasing flow available directly from Dispatch. I can generate a purchase order for a job directly from Dispatch by simply right-clicking on the appointment. The job number and the technician are already populated. We simply have to select the supplier, and then identify what materials are being purchased. Here I'm going to enter an item number from my price book, and identify the department that's going to be making the purchase. The description and cost information can be modified if necessary. Once the purchase order has been created, it can be printed, or you have the ability to submit an e-order from SuccessWare. An e-order is an electronic purchase order. Here I'm going to mark that we've ordered the purchase order, and now if need be, I have access to that purchase order directly from Dispatch. Once I'm ready to indicate that the items purchased have been received, I can go to my Purchasing Manager. The Purchasing Manager, by default, shows me open purchase orders, and I can filter this list to look at purchase orders only from a certain type of vendor, or I can select the name of a particular vendor and look at only the outstanding purchase orders related to that supplier. In this case, I'm going to right-click on the outstanding purchase order, and I'm going to generate a receipt to indicate that the items ordered have been received. On the receive document, we're going to confirm that the quantity that we ordered matches that with which we received. If not, we can go ahead and indicate a back-ordered quantity. Once I post, the system is automatically going to generate for me an unposted accounts payable invoice. Basically, it's there in anticipation of the invoice showing up from the supplier. I can fill this in right away, or I can access it from my Payables Manager. The Payables Manager is where I'm going to maintain all of my accounts payable accounts and invoicing. I'm also going to record payments from here as well. The default view in the Payables Manager is Unposted Invoices. And you can see here that we have a few accounts payable invoices with purchase order numbers associated with them. These are the ones that were generated from received purchase orders. Here I'm going to open up this vendor invoice and fill it in with the information received on the actual vendor invoice. You'll notice that the vendor discount has automatically been included based upon the terms that I have with that particular supplier. If I needed to modify the dollar amount on the invoice based upon what I received from the vendor, I could have done so. Now that I've saved, I'm simply going to post, and we've created an open payable in the software. The Payables Manager gives me access to all of my vendor accounts. From here, I can drill down into a vendor account to see all of the outstanding items as well as previous payments that I've made to that vendor. Another helpful view in the Payables Manager are recurring accounts payable invoices. Invoices for things like gas, electric, telephone, rent that arise on a regular basis can be created as templates and then pulled up regularly without having to refill all of the information. In this example, my template for my natural gas bill each month allows me to go ahead and create the vendor invoice without having to repopulate the data. Another great feature is the ability to build departmental splits into my vendor invoices. This is built into the template, so I don't have to keep modifying this. And what this is going to allow me to do is to post this expense to a single general ledger account, but to percentage-wise divide it amongst multiple departments within my business. As we receive the bill, we simply update the cost and then post the invoice. A review of the general ledger transaction will show that the amounts have been divided all to one general ledger account, but each department getting their fair share of the expense. Finally, we're going to use the Payables Manager to process our payments. I can select a single vendor, choose the payment button, indicate which individual invoices I wish to pay, and generate a single check. Or I can batch pay my vendors from the Payables Manager using the Pay Bills button. Here I'm going to mark an item as on hold. What this means is that the item, for some reason, I don't want to pay it right now, in this case because I'm waiting for an invoice to match up with a credit. We're going to be able to mark these items, eliminate them from view so we don't accidentally pay an invoice that we don't mean to. Let's fill in a comment here so we know why the item is on hold. And then let's hide our on hold items. Now we'll simply go through our list, tag the items that we wish to pay, and generate our payables checks. From here we'll simply print, and we're ready to send the check to the vendor.